The cobblestones of Savannah, Georgia aren't just soaked in history. They are slick with the residue of a city that once ate its own. In the late summer of 1876, the Hostess City was besieged by a killer the locals called Yellowjack. They thought it arrived on the wind or rose from the rotting swamp. They didn't know it was carried by the mosquitoes humming in their bedroom. Underneath the 600 block of Drayton Street, the city's digestive system of brick and lime transformed from a drainage network into a subterranean gullet. By September, the air in Savannah was a physical weight. To walk the streets was to inhale the miasma, a choking cocktail of vinegar, burning coal tar, and the cloying metallic stench of hematemesis. This was the black vomit. It was the sound of a human being's internal organs liquefying, expelled as a dark coffee ground slurry of digestive blood. At the peak, the wood for coffins ran dry. The sawmills could not keep pace with the dying. To prevent a total riot, the city began a silent harvest. They used the massive drainage tunnels, deep, arched conduits of Savannah Gray brick, as hidden morgues. In the absolute dead of night, conscripted laborers dragged the condemned into the darkness. But here is the horror the history books omit: the living burial. In 1876, the line between mostly dead and actually dead was very thin. Yellow fever causes a profound, death-like coma before the end. With the hospitals overflowing with the sick and the dying, the nurses and doctors did not have time to verify whether the patient was actually dead or just nearing the final stages of yellow fever. There were accounts of corpses shifting under their shrouds as they were stacked like cordwood in the damp heat. The moisture from the nearby Savannah River turned the tunnels into pasteurized slow cooker of rot. When the stench became a biological hazard, the city did not evacuate the conduits. They panicked. In a desperate bid to seal in the bad air, they didn't wait for the last heart to stop. The rasp of iron trowels on stone drowned out the wet, rattling coughs of the abandoned. They walled off sections of the 600 block, entombing the living in pitch-black tunnels, left to endure a horror far crueler than death itself. In the absolute darkness, hope suffocated as surely as breath, and every scrape or whisper echoed like a promise of torment yet to come. Imagine the silent hospital ward upstairs, while beneath the floorboards fingernails tore at the fresh mortar in the absolute suffocating dark. Today, utility workers in Savannah speak in hushed tones about the sub-basements of Drayton Street. It isn't the humidity that stops them, it's the viscosity. In this section, oxygen sensors flatline, replaced by a heavy, ancient stillness. A dark, oily fluid, rich in organic matter, is known to weep from the gaps in the masonry. It isn't groundwork. It is the rendered remains of 1876 harvest, still filtering through the pores of the brick. When the city grows quiet, the vibrations of the modern world reveal the truth. The next time you walk the 600 block of Drayton, pay attention to the percussion of your stride. If the sound is hollow, it isn't an empty space. It is a vault. You are walking on the rib cages of the forgotten.